Now, Erling Haaland's stunning Premier League debut was one of the highlights of the opening weekend. 2 goals against West Ham, live on Super Sunday, had our team of pundits describing him as unplayable. Delighted to say that we're joined by someone who knows him really well, and better than most, former Norway striker Jan Åge Fjørtoft. Good evening to you, Jan. I mean, you've watched his career very closely, haven't you? But were you surprised at all by just how good a Premier League debut he actually made?
Well, good evening to you as well. Well, no, I wasn't. I remember when I went to the Community Shield and you felt that after Nunez scoring and Erling Haaland didn't, and he missed that sitter at the end, you was like, this is a flop. He will never survive in the Premier League. The Bundesliga is not good enough. This is different. The usual stuff that when foreigners coming to that kind of with stardom to English football. Now I was not surprised at all. And the funny thing is that the 2 goals he scored, including the penalty that he was taken, he was fouled same, did it exactly that we've seen in Germany, taking a penalty, and as Pep Guardiola said, just show the courage. He take it straight away, doing his celebration that he always do. But I mean, this is a trademark Erling Haaland goal, and there were people talking about them, De Bruyne and him, would they find each other? Erling Haaland, when he is in a team like this, with Silva, with Mahrez, with De Bruyne, with Grealish, with Foden, he will get so much service. And when they play with a striker like Erling, who managed to always make the space for himself, he kind of make that space and sends like a body language to their teammates where they're going to play the ball. And mind you, Vicky, he never goes in offside. That is quite peculiar as well.
Yeah, he's quite a formidable character. I mean, you know, the fact that he says afterwards that he should have had more goals, is that quite typical of him as well, always wanting more?
Absolutely, but sometimes when you have that stature and his body language, he's sometimes running around that you think he's a superhero in a cartoon when he runs around on the pitch, and then afterwards he comes out and he would do his statements. And I had to ask him after the game, but you are happy, aren't you? Oh yes, inside I'm very, very happy, very proud that me and my family we've done that. But it's like it's always going after performances, and he's a master of blocking things out. I mean, pressure, yes, pressure they have everybody. Bill Shankly said that pressure is the reward. It's not a pressure, it's a reward. And Erling Haaland is like that, and we keep forgetting that this guy is 22 years of age, and it's all about development. And I'm very glad when I talk to Manchester City, when I speak to people in and around the club, they still see how they can develop him. And I mean, that is bad news for the other teams in the Premier League.
Yeah, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. I'm interested about that pressure, because obviously he has come over here, and after that Community Shield performance, everyone was a little bit like, what's happened there? What will he do with that sort of pressure? Because he will be scrutinised week in, week out.
Yeah, but he has been used to that, and I think that the Team Haaland, I love to call him Team Haaland, with his dad. It was the first time ever I've interviewed a dad and a son at a game. I had Alfie Haaland at halftime, and you know, they have built up a platform. They have built up a platform on and off the pitch who is quite secure. It's always about development. When you go to Salzburg to develop, when you go to Dortmund, instead of going to Manchester United in the Premier League at that time because that was not the right time. Now you go to Manchester City, you know that the young boy, the young man will work with Pep Guardiola. He will play with some of the best players in the world. You know that, but that fundament he got from home, from his family, that is enormous. And they are so good organized. I mean, if I was that good organized back in my days, I would have probably been world class when I see how they're doing it. But I think both Liverpool and Manchester City that I follow this week, and the way they try to get their players into the game, if that's a Nunez or a Haaland, that is quite impressive, and is something that just fit this 22-year-old.
Look, talk about that relationship, because obviously you said you had them both, you know, dad and son at half-time. What was he like? How proud was he after seeing his son perform like that?
Well, he's an advisor. He's the main man in the advising role around them. But Alfie Haaland is also his dad. And you can imagine, he was sitting with his family amongst the City fans. And he told me that when he was going for the penalty, Erling, it was 200 Manchester City fans turning the other way with their iPhones filming Alfie. So there was, and I said, but of course, he was nervous as any dad or any parent will be if their kids were up for a risky kind of thing. But it was funny, and the 85th minute around there, the Manchester City fans were singing, "There's only one Alfie Haaland." Of course, knowing that he played for Manchester City, and still, as we are praising Erling, he still hasn't scored more goals than his dad at Manchester City. He's still one behind.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that then, because he has got some goal stats that are pretty incredible, though, Erling. Do you expect him to get that golden boot this season? Is that something that will be playing on his mind?
Well, he won't play with it in his mind. You will never have him say that. I think every goal-getter is alike. Although this goal-getter, Erling Haaland, is a bit different. What you will learn in England, you will find a goal-getter who is even more happy when others scores. You will see a celebration. When he scores now, he's a cool guy. When another guy scores, maybe he's been involved in the attack or the team important goal, he will so celebrate, unbelievable. But I think that it's also, after the Community Shield, there was time to calm down the analysis. I think there's the same thing now, to calm down. This is a 22-year-old who had a great start in the Premiership. But these, although we love to give him words as machine, phenomenon, everything that we like to call these, but these are human beings. These are human beings who are expect to deliver the goods, to deliver the goals every round. It's not that easy. But what we do know about Erling Haaland, he would last night sitting in a bus, still thinking what he could have done differently. How should my week be? This is a 24/7 athlete. So then the goals are the consequences. But as a football player, you are still the consequence of all the work you're putting in, but you're not a machine that you can just put him to do a job. There is always other things available as well. But it was a great start for him, and for any striker coming to a new league, coming to a new country, get that first goal. That is the most important goal anyway.
Yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree with that. Just finally then, I mean, I know you don't want to put the pressure on, you don't want to build all the hype, but all those Manchester City fans, all they're going to want to know tonight is, can they help him win the Champions League for the first time? Will City get it with him on board this season?
Well, they will get closer in terms of, I know they've been close the last seasons, but they will get closer because when people talk about Nunez compared with Haaland, Nunez is coming more or less to replace Mané, although he's another kind of player, but he's coming for like a 1-1 thing. Erling Haaland is coming to Manchester City with a new set of skills. So he's not like he's coming in to be instead of another player who's leaving. He's coming in with another skill, so to say. He has to adjust to the team, and the team got to adjust a bit to him, although we know the Pep way of playing. But I think that with Grealish last season, that was a player that Pep never used to have, that kind of dribbler kind of guy. And no, I haven't forgotten Messi, but I'm not comparing anyone to him because he's God. But Erling Haaland coming in now as that number 9, doing his cool runs, and these cool runs will take them closer because they got some skill that they didn't have the last season. So, but we know they can meet one of the best, and they can meet Real Madrid, they can meet one Bayern Munich who has been doing fantastically in the quarterfinals. So you never know, but with the set of skills they have, of course they're getting closer to that dream of that title.
Yeah, they can but dream at the moment. Okay, thank you so much, Jan Åge Fjørtoft. Good to speak to you.